My two best friends said, "Thanks for paying for the wedding, but you're not invited." What they didn't know was that their wedding day would become the day everyone finally saw who they really were. Me and my friends Gia and Kimberly were supposed to be like the Powerpuff Girls, but now they kicked me to the curb like Mojo Jojo. It hurt. I'd already spent $4,000 on their joint wedding, spent 8 months on venue tours, dress shopping, making centerpieces in my apartment late at night. I'd even taken vacation days to handle wedding emergencies like a complete idiot. One afternoon, Gia and Kimberly asked to see me at Starbucks. Their faces looked hurt, but their tone sounded forced. "Listen, we're so thankful for all the effort you've been putting into the wedding plans. Like, we would have never been able to do this without you." I smiled. "Of course, what are best friends for?" "Right," said Kimberly, trailing off. "But unfortunately, you know, so many people already RSVP'd and it's so overwhelming how crowded it's gonna be. So unfortunately, you didn't quite make the cut." "She means you're not invited," Gia jumped in, rolling her eyes at my confused expression. "We're doing this for you," Kimberly said, stirring her latte nervously. "To protect your feelings. I mean, you can still help with the wedding if you want." I got up calmly and left them, heading straight to my boyfriend Kenneth. I immediately spilled the entire thing to him. His face grew red. "They're trash. You deserve so much better, and I'm gonna make sure it happens. You just rest. Do everything you've always wanted to do without them." He kissed my forehead and smiled. But it was tough, really tough moving forward without them. I mean, one second we were doing everything together, the next second I was basically friendless. But after 3 months, every day got a little bit easier. I joined a hiking group to get back into shape and launched my own event planning business, something I'd always dreamed about doing since I was young. But you're not really business-minded, you know? You work best as an employee, Gia and Kimberly once told me when I brought it up to them years ago. But I was going to try anyway. I helped a few clients with their organization, orders, vows, but soon I landed my first big client, one who paid me an amount that almost made me faint. Meanwhile, an old classmate Jessica told me how Gia and Kimberly were completely drowning without me. Their DIY decorations looked like kindergarten crafts. Nobody helped with setup, and they constantly bickered at every vendor meeting. They'd even tried to get Jessica to take over my role. She laughed and said she was busy. The best part was I wasn't even trying to get revenge. I was just living. And as if things couldn't get better, Kenneth held a surprise proposal with my hiking group with a very enticing offer. "Marry me. Same date, same venue, same time." I laughed at his diabolical scheme and kissed him, accepting the ring. My hiking group immediately started offering help. "I'll do your flowers," said Shirley. "I'm doing your hair," said Becky. "My brother's a DJ," said Marcus. For the first time in my life, people were giving instead of taking. I burst into laughter and hugged them. 2 weeks before the wedding, Kenneth posted the story on Twitter, tagging friends and families and venues, adding in screenshots of everything I'd paid for with the caption, "Imagine funding your best friend's wedding and getting uninvited." People were outraged. Vendors started reaching out to me. The photographer called first. "I'd rather shoot your wedding for free. This is incredible." Then the florist, the cake decorator. Even their day of coordinator switched sides. Every mutual friend started RSVPing to my wedding instead. That's when Gia found out about my wedding from the venue coordinator who assumed she knew. My phone exploded with texts. "You booked our venue on our day? This is psychotic. You're trying to ruin our special day, but it won't work." But their wedding was already falling apart even without me lifting a finger. On the day of the wedding, their wedding hall was practically empty, each decoration tacky and clashed. My wedding hall was so packed with people that they had to borrow seats from Gia and Kimberly's joint wedding hall just to seat them outside. After the ceremony, Gia and Kimberly tried to crash my reception when the security stopped them at the door and called me over. I walked up in my dress, took in a deep breath, looked them dead in the eyes, and said, "You're not on the list."